Hello guys, this is Af4 and oh, Guild War. Anyway, I wanted to start here with my Emerick to explain a little bit about him, and then I'll go into the main reason why I'm doing this video. My Emerick is decent. I wouldn't say good, but decent. His stats are not where they need to be. His power ranking is okay, but it's not where it needs to be either, because I think I can do a little bit better than that. But I think Emerick's a good character because of his talent. Like when attacking, attack plus 20%. This is kind of like the mid part of his talent. I don't think this is the best aspect of it. It's good, but I don't think this is the best aspect of it because it turns this B attack into like an A minus version of attack when he's attacking. But that's only when he's attacking, not when he's like being attacked. But this, I think, is the best part of his talent. When attack, damage taken minus 20%. I think for any tank, when you see damage taken minus 20%, is a good thing. I wish it was like minus 30% so he can have like taking potential like Albedo, but he is an SR unit, so that's not going to happen. But if it did, it'd be awesome. And the third part of his talent is the second best part of his talent. People may argue that it's the best part of his talent. But for me, I think it's the second best part because he's supposed to be a tank. No matter what's said, he's supposed to be a tank. I mean, his attacking potential is far lower than his tanking potential. Okay, all enemies within 2 blocks suffer minus 2 mobility and cannot guard. I think this skill was kind of ahead of its time. It allowed him to be like decent in like the first and second season of Apex, and then he kind of fell off when the AoE meta took full swing. But that's okay. Now that we're going back to a single target, he's a little better. But there's things that he has in his 3C that makes him a little tougher against the AoE meta. But when you look at it, when he's ranked, I built him pretty fast, and I put a lot of resources on him really fast, so I skipped all the way to the top. But it's not like he's super awesome, because if you really look at it, nobody really plays this guy. This is the highest power. I think I can take it past that. I think I'm going to overtake this guy when I really start putting resources onto my Emerick. I think I'm going to be a little bit ahead of him. But I looked at this and I kind of got sad. This guy, Keeps, he was a great YouTuber, but he quit Lang. But he was kind of ahead of his time with his Emerick. Because when you look at it, he's a Lancer Emerick like mine, and that's kind of the Emerick you want for PvP, because of the horse meta's gonna die really soon, because everybody's gonna turn their tanks into Lancers because of SP Elwyn, and SP Elwyn's damage output is a lot higher than other horses. And in order for Emerick to fight against those said units, he has to not be a horse. So this Emerick is a PvP Emerick for the current meta coming up. So this guy was ahead of his time. So is Jukerlaw. You look at Jukerlaw's Emerick, who's built super defensively. This is like a super tank Emerick. This Emerick has like 227 plus defense. When you look at mine, my defense isn't even as good as his. But then again, I don't have I have a Breeze Emerick, so my attack is a little higher than his. So that's just the way things go. But I think he's pretty good now because of his 3C. I kind of like Emerick anyway because nobody really plays him, and he is an Empire guy, and I'm an Empire guy, so he's the second to the last SR I have to build, and then I'm done with all my SRs for Empire, and then I'll start playing around with these guys. I'll probably like, I don't know. I'm gonna finish building her up, and then I'll probably build these guys up. So that's just the way that goes. But I think Emerick is pretty solid unit because of. Let me put that back up. Sorry guys, that was dumb. Because of his awakening skill, that's gonna be released on June. Devious strategy. Of course, it's a 3 cost, and active effect is choose one of the following effects: smoke screen, active use, target gains smoke screen, command all enemy units within 1 block, has a movement -1 and cannot guard. So potentially he locks a lot of guys in place. That means if you stick them like between 2 units, they probably can't get away that far. So if you see a wandering Zerda, you can lock her down. That's pretty good. I think reassess is a little better because target gains reassess before entering battle, dispels up to 4 debuffs from self. That's incredible because this debuff meta is gonna get stupid when Kruger comes. So this is almost divine. Almost this really helps him out being a single target unit. But for every debuff dispelled this way, restore 50% of HP. That's super good. That's really good. Last 2 turns, that's even better. So yeah, I think this is a really good 3C. After using one of these skills above, set the cooldown of Devious strategy to 3 turns. That's fine. But this is the better part. If this unit has a special effect from a fusion buff, Lance is cucked again. It's just like Lorenza with her faction buff, with Lance's faction buff. She can't benefit from Lance's faction buff, and neither can Emerick, so he's totally cucked for PvP. You have to move another 3 blocks and attack. So it gives him a semi-chivalry effect, giving him 3 extra blocks to attack. But what that means you can actually use Lancer Emerick because his movement is garbage. But with this, he gets 6 blocks of movement, so proper placing, he can be useful. And same difference when using the skill, buffs on this unit will not decrease in duration. That's super good. And combined with his helmet, he can drop some debuffs, go in, drop some debuffs, and cause some havoc. I think he pairs well with your boy Ares and other AoE units. So I think this guy is gonna see a little bit of play, not much, but enough. But since I'm an Empire player, I'm gonna build him. And since we moved into 3Cs, I want to talk about Bernhardt's 3C because this guy got something good. This guy got something good. This guy got something seriously good. Let me go back. Like I said in an earlier video, my Bernhardt is gonna stay in his Brave class because when you look at his Brave class opposed to his Emperor class, his Emperor class has more HP and attack. But when you look at Bern's defense stat, in Brave class he has like the 8th highest defense in the game. That's not bad. His magic defense is solid. It's not great. It's not B, so it's not that great. But you can push it pretty high. I got mine at 400, so it's not that bad. That's why you see I got this little bit on the class enchant. It helped him out because it got his magic defense pretty high. His equipment doesn't even have that much magic defense on it, so it goes to show you how much potential he has. But it's just like his talent held him back a little bit because there's only 2 parts of his talent for him to be an SSR. He only has 2 parts of his talent, like upon entering battle, damage dealt plus 20%, which is good for an offensive unit. But when you look at Elwyn, let me go to Elwyn. Like when attacking, damage dealt is increased by 30%. I mean, yeah, that's insane. But the thing about Bernhardt is he can do it both on offense and defense. When he gets hit, he hits hard all the time. So upon entering battle, so whenever he enters battle, his damage dealt is 20%, but it's not as consistent as Elwin, because Elwin runs in and attacks and kills things. Bernhardt runs and attacks and hurts things, and they hit him, and then he may kill him on the next turn. So it makes him like in this kind of like mixed world where Bern can do different stuff, but he can't do it as well as other people who specifically do one thing. Like he's not as good of a tank as Vargas. He's not as good of a DPS as Elwin. So when you get down to it, the best part about Bernhardt is this: his faction buff. You know, Bernhardt at his core, if anybody who plays Bernhardt understands that at this guy's core, he's like the commander of the army. He buffs them, and he fills in whatever hole is lacking within the team. That's his personal job. If you ever really play Bernhardt, this is what he does. His faction buff is pretty good. Like increases, like damage increases 20% when battling against units over which you have class priority. This is really good. This is a really good faction buff. There are better faction buffs in the meta right now, but him and Elwin set the standard. Him, Elwin, and what's his face? And Legend set the standard for. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Simple to use faction buffs, because this is easy to understand. You just deal more damage to people that you have a class check over. That's all it does. Like when you see Elwin, his faction buff says when HP is above 80%, damage dealt in battle is increased by 12%. That means troops and you increase your damage. So you stack this on top of that. This dude's hitting super hard. This is why Elwin hits super hard. When you look at his my enchants is like 10%, 12%. There's still 12%. So it's like 24% attack, and I really never needed more than that in order to get high-end PvE content done. He's just a monster. So when we go back to Bernie, he didn't have that. But when we come here, Bernie got. It's like they understood who Bernhardt was when they made this skill. They really like had this like fish leap moment in thought, because this is the first 3C that's actually a faction buff. Funny, because that's pretty much what Bern does. That's Bern's basic job for his faction. He's the ultimate faction buffer, and now they made him the ultimate faction buffer, because his faction buff is stupid. The passive is good too. When active attacking, deal 1.5 damage to enemies within one ring. This is supposed to be like his rupture skill, so he gets his like rupture skill, his one ring rupture skill. So that's interesting. I just don't like the occur every 3 turns. If it was every turn, that'd be like nuts. But his fusion power, man, you know, all Empire Honored units like da as well as this effect. When in battle, damage dealt plus 18%. That is so stupid. And you deal this 18% like without any checks. Like his old faction buff, you had to have a class check. Now you just whenever you enter battle, it's basically whenever you're attacking or you're attacking, damage dealt plus 18%. That's so stupid. That means your troops hit hard too. That is stupid. That is so stupid. And when you stack it on top of his already talent, that means he gets a 38% damage dealt buff. Just with that. That's stupid. And it also gives him iron-blooded ambition to self. Movement +1. So that means my Bernie with his boots, he gets 5 moves. So he's moving just as fast as Leon now. Damage dealt plus 15%. So you stack that on top of that, and on top of his talent. That's insane, man. He's actually an offensive unit now. And your sword dance span becomes like +1. That's crazy. That means he doesn't need Kern Fighter. That means you can you can go forego current biter, or you can brain curve biter and increase his range to like stupid heights with his sword stance. That's crazy. Shield bash range +1, not so good. I think this is like, I wish they would have said shield bash guaranteed, and it was like sleep effect. Like, Bozo sleep, like when Bozo cast sleep, you can't dispel his sleep, but you can dispel shield bash. So I don't think this was that great, but still, it can be useful, but it's not that great. This isn't the best part. I mean, this is good. I guess this is like extra, because this 3C is kind of retarded. But if this unit has Iron Fist equipped, then physical damage taken -25% and gain hegemony. That's crazy. So you don't have to carry hegemony anymore. If you carry Iron Fist, you don't have to carry hegemony. But if you carry something like Swords Dance or Shield Bash, you can't carry hegemony anymore. And hegemony is a 2-cost skill, not a 1-cost skill. So it kind of locks you into place, but he gets so much out of this 3C, it's just stupid. And Iron Blood Ambition cannot be immunized or dispelled, so he always gets this. No matter what, man, he gets this buff. So I think, man, they kind of like lit a fire under Bernie's behind. So if this guy gets a good SP class, if they give him the right SP class, then he's gonna be super meta. This doesn't make him meta. This just makes him viable in the meta. But this doesn't make him meta. But it makes him useful. Like if you kind of push your Bernie, you can justify using him in Apex. But that's stupid. This is so stupid. That's why your boy Abcor's been building Bernie's gear. I've been building Bernie's gear because of that. Where is it at? Where are you, Green A? I've been building Bernie's armor. Like, the enchants are kind of meh. I want at least like a 10 or an 8 or an 4 or something for attack, but we're getting there, because I'm probably gonna take off Bernie's armor. This is so stupid, and I'll probably give it to Emerick. That's probably the best place that could go, is Emerick. So we'll see about that. But as far as this goes, I think these new 3Cs for Emerick and Bernie make them super good. That's why I'm excited to build Emerick. We're gonna test run my Emerick in Timeless Trials, so we'll see how he performs, and I'll know where I need to tweak here and there. I mean, I'm keeping this because this is Bernie's old gear, so I'm keeping this because 9 defense and 9 HP. That's hard to beat. That was an insane roll. That's hard to beat. If I could make a better roll, I would, but for the roll that he's given, I'm satisfied with that. This can improve. It's only 10% defense. I just don't have enough money to roll a better enchant, but this enchant is weak. This enchant is kind of weak to me because there's no potential here. This enchant is kind of weak to me as well, because I want him to have at least 15% attack. But this 4% defense you can't ignore, because the max you can get is 5%. So that's just the where it is. But if you like my content, like, share, subscribe button, because I always put out information about Empire and how this thing's going, because there are some characters that are coming into Empire that's really going to shake up the meta. Of course, I'm talking about Hilda and Rosenseal. Not so much your boy Clotaire, but I'm going to build Clotaire because I just like the way he plays. And I'll discuss him in detail when he starts coming out, because I will pick him up. I don't care how much I gotta put in to get him, because I need him for my Rosenseal. So anyway, you guys have a great day.